she got some questions that she want to ask. Dr. Fabulous, it's on you. Come on, talk to us.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. All I can say is welcome. I'm so excited. The interracial relationship thing, it's a good topic. God knows I love it. As I said, if you're into the swirl, that's wonderful. If it comes, Miss Millie, when you, what is it, 53 point, what did you say? What's it?
She said
I can't
5.3.
hear. 5.3. 5.3. You can make that swirl, just ring around the roses. So tonight, this is my thing. This is my thing. What do you think would happen if you were in a heated argument with your partner or your spouse, the interracial couple, and if the person was Anglo-Saxon or whatever, whatever, and they called me the N-word, would you accept it just like you would if an African-American counterpart would call you that? Or what would happen? I don't know, because I've never been in that type of situation, but I'm going to open up the floor to how you would feel if it happened. I'm going to open the floor and I see the hand raised. I see the hand is Anson, and then I see JJ's hand. So the question is, if you're in an interracial relationship and you're in a heated argument and it slips and they call you the N-word, we all know what the N-word is. Nasty, nice, I'm just being facetious, but everybody knows. So I'm going to let Anson give me his take on that.
That leads right into what I said earlier. Can't be with someone who can't relate to me. So I'm with that blackness of black women. So if she want to sit up and call me the N-word, that's fine. I might call her one right back. But I can't do it with someone that ain't black. Yeah, I got me a white girl I'm laying next to that want to sit up here and get all heated. And I ain't with that slip. You ain't slip if you do that. You meant to say that. You know what I'm saying? It can sit there and try to claim they slipped or claim it was a mistake. No, Effa, you did that because you wanted to. You said that because that's on your mind.
Okay.
So, but Anson, what if they say it in a good way? Let me give you an example. So you laughing because you know where I'm going with this.
Give it to me.
You and her are in the heat of the moment and y'all going at it, right? Y'all are being intimate. And she look back at you and say, "Hey, N-word, tear this thing up."
No.
Are you gonna be mad with it then?
Yes, I'm gonna be mad because ain't no good way of saying that.
Okay.
It ain't no way a non-black woman can say that to me in a good way. Okay. It's not possible.
Listen, you trying to tell me that if you was getting it with a black sister, you was getting it. And she say, get it, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Oh, okay.
Because like I said earlier, I might call her that right back.
Okay.
Yeah, you like that. You like that wood. You like that wood Nietzsche N-word. Yeah. Yeah, you like that, huh? How that pillow taste N-word. Yeah. It tastes good, don't it?
You know what? You all, I have to say this. You know how first cousin and Mary are cousins? That's my cousin, y'all. That's Anson. That's my cousin. That's my blood. But anyway, JJ, you have, and he tickled me pink, boy. He tickled me pink. Okay, JJ, you got your hand raised. Give me your thoughts. Well, was it up from the last?
I apologize. I never even took my hand off. I'm sitting here doing something totally different.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jay. Okay.
No, don't. I'm sorry.
All right. I accept it. Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to answer that question for me?
Give me the question again.
The question is, you're in a relationship with your interracial partner and you get in a heated argument and they mess around and call you the N-word. How do you handle that?
Oh, I can answer that, and I ain't even had to listen to that. You listen. It's a few things you do. You get bees with honey, none with vinegar. You ain't never in your life, if you're other than black, calling me outside my name. I ain't your nigga. I ain't your boy. I ain't your homie. No, we ain't that. We're not that close. Wait, because here it is. If we're in a relationship, right, and you love me or even like me, see, it's a difference in love and being in love. But if we have an understanding, you should have enough respect for me that you already know through the history of time, 400 and some odd years, what that word means to black folks. You ain't gonna never mumble that. Mumble it, not say it. Mumble it off your lips.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna play it, because guess what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen?
She called me out my name, just gonna be just this easy. 911. I need this young lady out of my house. Now, while they coming, I'm gonna be packing her shit. She ain't got to pack. You ever call me a nigga again, both of us can't stay in here.
Yep. On that phone, butt naked. Yes, Sam, come get her right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me say a little something to that, please.
Okay.
All right. I'll raise my hand like that. Okay. Well, what I'm thinking is I like the way the brother said understanding, and we talked about it, on Scorpion Dating, about not just understanding, be able to comprehend what's being said. So it's like, if evidently he ain't gonna have a white girl like that. See, because the white girls I grew up with, like I told Sir Bob, we call them gray girls because they walk like black girls. They have their hair braided in the micro braids like black girls. They talk like black girls. They spend the night with black girls. So black girls use the word Dr. Fabulous. So when this white girl is around them and growing up with them, when she use it, you're not gonna even think nothing of it. See, he's the type of brother that he gonna have a special kind of white girl that's intellectual and not ignorant, if you understand what I'm saying. So then she probably won't say that. But if he get a hood white girl that grew up with bougie black girls, they gonna say that, but they don't mean it. They just like, get it, because guess what? They want you to say white girl. To like, shout out white girl, take this, take it. Yeah, so it's all about role playing and just being cosmetic and just enjoying the moment in which it really is. It's just a moment thing. That's all it really is.
Okay, well, I'll come back to you, Mr. Malik. Even with being an African American female, which I am, I'm not into calling my men that, regardless if we are of the same race. But you're saying that the gray girls, that was something new for me, the gray girls. Now I see the hand up for my first cousin, Bobby. You would like to respond?
Yes, I would. I want to play devil's advocate here. In some circles, I think it's safe to say that that could be somewhat of a fetish, that some people may like that. And I wanted to get like being called that. If it's a sexual thing going on, and that's probably a fetish. And I wanted to get Dr. Feelgood's take on that, because he's more, how can I say, seasoned and experienced in that area. So he would probably know a little more about that than me. Dr. Feelgood, you with us?
I am here. Okay. Here's the deal. If I was to go that way, I like my women rich, thick, and especially chocolate. But if a white woman would call me that, I don't care if she a gray girl now. I know what old Razzle Dazzle talking about. But I wouldn't go off. I just stop what I'm doing. Be like, you got to go. And that's it. That's it. No drama, because once you lose your composure, you at their mercy. You can be easily manipulated, and that's not going to happen. So, you know, you stay in your square, said, stop. What you stopping for? You know why we're stopping. You got to go. If I'm at that place, I just get up, get dressed, and leave. I said, if she's at my place, she got to go. So you have to go. Why do I have to go? You just gotta go. You can't be here. And block, lose the number. In the low case that I would even go in that direction, but you know, I'm not. That's my preference is sisters, but if that happened, that's what I would do. I know that because I've, you know, when it comes to that type of situation, I always have to maintain control because I got too much to lose.
Right
I got
now.
too much to lose my temper, get off my square. So I just calmly, you gotta go. Those are my words. First comes back to you.
Right. That's cool. That's good. But only thing I'm saying, Dr. Feelgood, is your mentality, the way that you govern yourself, you're gonna govern a different kind of white girl. So I'm saying, just like you govern a different kind of sister, like you know, high quality, you know, exclusive, extraordinary type woman. You're gonna draw that same type of woman in another race. So she's 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna call you that because the type of how you set the tone, and just like the other brother, how Jay set the tone. But you got some guys who don't, like you say, different folks, different stroke. They come from different walks of life, and just like Bob said, it's a turn on. But to you, it's not, and to the other brothers, it's not. It's just like that. Simple as that.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to move it right along. The next question is, do you get frustrated not being able to truly express yourself freely when dating outside of your race? Because sometimes we say things around the different race to be what? Politically correct. So I'm going to ask Miss Toya, you all grew up together. You started out young and you were able to converse the way anyone would be able to converse. But with that being said, even in situations when I go out with my coworkers, and sometimes they'll be done had a little too much to nip. When I say nip, I mean drink, and they mess around and start getting cross that line, and I just give them that Dr. Fabulous look like, hey, that's not what I do. So with that being said, Toya, were you always able to speak freely? You didn't have to cover up the way you truly felt, like when they have different trials on television, with Black people, white people, the shootings and things of that nature. I don't know if you all were still together at that time, but were you able to express yourself freely?
Oh, absolutely. I can't be with nobody blackity black like that guy said, or otherwise, and not be me. So yeah, and you know, we have Black boys because I don't care how much light skin you are, whatever. Your mama black, your daddy black, your ass black. So we have had several conversations with our children about how to conduct yourself, you know, with the police and turn your music down. And you know, in Jacksonville, they had a couple of incidents happen when I first moved back here when I retired, and I was scared to death when my children left the house. I was just always nervous. And I had to give them 50 million speeches every time they left. And so my husband and I, we always have had open communication, and he's always been around my family. I know the first barbecue he went to and they were playing spades, and you know how we do when we talking. And he was at the table playing spades. They was like, nigga, go on, it's your turn. And so he's sitting there and I'm sitting, so I hit him with my knee, like they talking to you. Like I hit him with, and he looking like, so then he finally caught on and he threw out. But that night when we went home, you know, and he was, when I tell you he was the whitest white boy, and I am the black. I'm from the projects, and he from the suburbs. And he is the whitest white boy, and I'm the blackest black girl. Nobody ever would have ever thought we would have even looked at each other twice. But he is who he is, and I am who I am, and I think that was the beauty. And we were both genuine and true to ourselves. No matter what it may have looked like, you know, because people have their perceptions of what you look like when you show up arm in arm. But I was always me, and he was always himself. And so we had conversations, and I had to let him, because he always used the term dude, you know, everything was dude, the way my family say nigga. So it's dude was that was his nigga, so to speak. And so I had to explain it to him that just like you call everybody dude, even women, you know, call a damn dog dude. If the dog had an accident, dude, really, you know, everything was dude. So that's how my family, anyway, you know, that's how we got down. And he was like, wow. And then we just always had, like, I asked him stuff about his family. I was like, why your mom always got to smell the damn food? I don't want her nose over my shit. Tell your mother to stop smelling the damn food. And tell her to stop coming in my kitchen with all that loose ass hair. Get your ass out my kitchen.
That did that.
Get your ass out my kitchen, Miss Sarah. Go put a bonnet on. Get out my kitchen. I don't need no help. And don't be lifting up my lids. Get your ass, you know, and that's just me though. That's how I was raised. My grandmother be like, go pin that hair, get that loose hair out of here. You ain't finna be in my kitchen in no pajamas. You know, we got all our little isms, you know, in the community. You know, you get raised up a certain way. And that's what I instilled in my children. That's how I ran my house. And it was always different when we went to his parents' house. I had to, like, my daughter would even ask me, how my daughter and my youngest son asked me one time, how come when we go to Grandma Sarah's house, we don't see no black people? So, because it was always in the winter, and they live in Cleveland, and I'm from Buffalo. I don't do the cold. So I had to start taking them into the inner city of Cleveland. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then when they go to Grandma Mary, which is my mother in Buffalo, New York, how come there ain't no white people around Grandma Mary's house? So then I had to take them to where I went to school at, because we got bused over there, you know, and go show them it's people, same people everywhere. It's just different neighborhoods, you know, because wherever they were being raised at with us in the military, whenever we moved somewhere, it was a melt. They saw everything and everybody. And I made sure of that. The neighborhoods that we chose were very diverse. So that's how we dealt with that. But no, I was never, ever compromised who I am.
Thank you so much, Toya, for sharing. Is there anyone else? Because like I said, even in relationships with co-workers and them being of different race, sometimes you find yourself, you don't let go that real lingo or that slang when you're talking to certain people. You know how that is, first cousin. You walking in here, you know you're not gonna say what's up, you know.
Right.
So that's the question on the table. Do you feel like you have to compromise what you talk about, how you speak when you're around people of different races? So is there anyone
I think,
else?
yeah, I would like to comment on that. I think in every situation, you probably have to make some adjustments because the comfort level may not be where it probably should be. Say, for instance, if you are in a interracial relationship and you are hanging out, like say at a barbecue or something like that, you're probably feeling very relaxed and comfortable to say what you normally would say. But if you go to, say, a corporate function, maybe your demeanor may shift just a little bit because you got to be more corporate, more uptight. So it may be a difference in your demeanor, maybe a difference in your attitude when it comes to that. So I think every situation is different, but I think everyone wants to be as true to themselves as possible and to their partner also.
Okay, Miss Millie, I believe I saw your hand.
Yes, I'm gonna use my business as a scenario. When I had my boutique, it was downtown Aiken, and downtown Aiken is where mostly the upper class Caucasian shop. So when things I chose to put in the business, versus my online business, I had to downplay it more so to a certain degree. I put some things, but I had to keep it at a certain level to cater to the crowd that was coming in. And it was hard because I am who I am. I'm straight out the projects. I'm Florida. So being that it was Fort Pierce,
Okay.
it was extremely hard doing it. So I'm like, some days like for instance, one lady came in there and asked me, why do you have Michelle Obama person here? I say, because she's gonna always be the first lady. And so sometimes it got hard. I would kick back, then I have to, you downtown with people, you got to get it right. So I had to play it back and forward to remember it. Mm-hmm. And it was hard.
Is there any other person? I've heard from First Cousin. Troy, would you like to reiterate? Would you like to give me a little something?
I'm sorry. I'm just tuned into the answers. What was the question again?
The question is, do you find yourself sometime in mixed company or different race that you have to speak a certain way, or you kind of pull back on different conversations that you don't think would be appropriate to speak around individuals, or do you just be who you are all the time, 24/7?
It depends on if it's a professional thing or not. If it's a social thing and it's around people that I know, most definitely I am who I am. But something work and it's a professional. No, you need to monitor yourself and act accordingly, because it's a time and place for everything. But it's certain conversations I won't have around white people. I will not, because I don't want to give them think they have some freedoms to do and say certain things. So I don't even want to give them that idea that they can do that. So for me, no. And going back to what they said, it's never appropriate for a white person to use the N-word. I don't care when it is. Never,
Absolutely.
ever. As Bobby knows, I don't use it. And he's known me a long time. That's me personally. You use it, that's fine. But a white person, they definitely can't use it.
Gotcha.
So that's it for me.
All right. Thank you, Troy.
I would like
going to
to
go over.
You
I
got-
have
yeah.
Miss Brooks' hand is up. I'm going to go to Miss Brooks and then Miss Bryan, because their hands are up, and then we'll come back to you, Miss Marianne. So Miss Brooks, go ahead and share with us.
Yeah, I think I want to add on to Troy's point is, you just can't do that, right? Like I even take it to, like, you can't even sing a song if we're in the same car together and a song comes on and you're not even allowed to say that word, right? But I think I also want to use the word or the term code switching, which I do a lot because I talk to my colleagues at work a certain way. I talk to my mom a certain way. I talk to my girlfriends a certain way. But does that mean that I'm not being authentic? You know what I mean? I feel like, I think that's a thing, right? Because I gotta respect my mom. She don't want to hear certain stuff, right? My girlfriends I can keep it real with, but I gotta code switch when I get to work. Hey, what's up? You know what I mean? It's different than I would be like, the kind of conversations that I would have with my girlfriend. So I think that's a factor as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Brooks, for sharing. Ms. Bryan, I'm ready for you. And welcome back.
Hi, I was actually going to piggyback on what Ms. Brooke was saying. I was going to say, as African American, as Black people in this country, we're always kind of engaging in code switching, even as young children. So there's always different ways we communicate depending on where we are and who the situation is. I think we definitely are going to communicate differently with people outside our race, no matter what the circumstance. I think code switching is a natural part of being Black in America, and it's something you unconsciously do anyway. So I don't think it makes you not real or real. It just depends. And I'm of the notion that it's never really appropriate to say the N-word per se. I mean, it's not like, I don't know, even especially in the midst of a heated argument. in general. I just feel like it's not too appropriate, even though in songs you might hear it in music, but just in general. But I think we're always code switching and we're always changing up how we say and what we say and do depending on the situation and the circumstance. If you're at church or if you're at work, or if you're at the club, you do it so naturally you don't feel it. I don't think it compromises who you are. I just think it's a part of being Black in America.
Thank you so much. Enjoyed it. It's Mary. I'm coming to Marianne, and then from Marianne, I'm going to go to Anson, and after which I'm going to turn it over to that wonderful, that Dr. Feel Good after Anson. So go ahead, Marianne.
To piggyback off of everyone, we all code switch. It doesn't matter with the interview process, with our friends, our family, so on and so forth, or even us being by ourselves. We all code switch. There was one incident today that my cousin was telling me that she experienced at work. She was like, okay, it was this white boy, and he was just talking. He was like, damn, I can't believe those niggas did that. And she went to him, exactly. She went to him. She said, no, it does not matter who made you comfortable with that word, but you cannot use it. It's off limits to you. You cannot use it at all. And somebody made him comfortable with him saying it around them and not correcting him. And he thought, okay, well, I'm Black on the inside. No, sir, that is not acceptable. That is not okay. That is not fine. No. The trauma that's been held behind that word, it's not acceptable. You cannot say that at all. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mary. And Anson, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it back to the question at hand that we was talking about, talking to someone that you're with. I mean, I think we all understand code switching and doing it in a business or professional setting. That's natural, that's warranted, and that's human nature as Americans are concerned. But as far as someone that you're with, I ain't never been no interracial relationship, but I can guarantee you one thing: I'm not from the code switch who I'm with. That's not gonna happen. That's being phony and being fake. And if I feel like I can't be myself with who I'm with, then it's no point of even being in that situation. So no, I'm not gonna code switch with who I'm with. So I'm and I'm not gonna be uncomfortable speaking. That's not gonna happen.
All right. Well, I thank you so much, Anson. And we're going to do that little woo-saw break moment. When I do, this is called the fabulous, y'all. Everybody can learn how to do the fabulous. That's my move. And so we're going to do that little woo. And we're going to join in and let Dr. Feelgood have his time. All right. Dr. Feelgood is all on you.
Back again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the show and seeing how deep we can get on different topics. Now, mine's a little thing, not dealing with you personally, but with your children. I'm sure everybody in here, with the exception maybe Marianne, is probably a parent. I could be wrong, but most of us have children. Now, how would you react if your child brought somebody from a different race? You heard Marianne, you heard First Cuz say that people is like, you don't bring nobody different from that don't look like you to your house. I was raised in a house that love is love. So you can bring, if as long as they good to you
Messing
and
up.
good for you, they good. Because we've been treated how we treated by everybody. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather have, if it's a green Martian that's treating me decent, it's good to me, good for me, I'd rather have that than a sister who's beautiful and and do things like that, but she ugly on the inside and she treat me like dirt. That's not it. And I don't want my kids to go through that. So if they brought somebody home, then I ask, are you happy? Are you feeling do you love this person? Do you like this person? Do you see a future with this person? Because we all know what's going to go on. Everybody was talking about it earlier. When you see something that's not the social norm, I mean, interracial relationships have been together and they've been for a while, but it's still more of an anomaly, especially if you're outside the military community. The military community, that's the numbers are probably a lot higher. Me being former military, I've seen it, and like Toya did, I did the same thing. My kids grew up in integrated interracial areas. So when I took them back to my projects in New York City, they were like, "What the hell?" He said, "Where the white people at?" Like, this is not. We in New York. It's a whole different world. And I found myself saying, "Aren't you glad you?" At the time I was stationed in El Paso. "Aren't you glad you live in El Paso?" And they, I think about that now. But said my middle son, who's special needs, he went. He loves white girls with buns. He loves them some white girls with buns. Now his mother's like, "I'm brown, no black women. I want white women." Why do you want white women? But he hates his brother's significant other. Like, make it make sense. But that's our Babylon diatribe is over. So, Millie, what would you feel if your daughter or your sons brought back someone who didn't look like y'all?
Okay, I can't relate to the opposite nationality, but I can relate to my daughter is married to a female. And when she first told me, I wanted to just take her and just choke her. Because I was like, this how I was at the time. I'm not like that now. I was like, not my daughter. You're supposed to have a husband. So this is what she had to tell me to make it make sense. She said, "Mom, I love who love me." And once she told me that, it registered that it doesn't matter who somebody loves, color, opposite sex, or whatever. If that person is showing them the love that they need, I would rather have her married to a female that love her than African American that did her any kind of way. So by her telling me love who love you, that made me see it differently. So I don't look now, I look at it differently, but I used to tell them the same thing. Don't you bring no opposite color in my house. I used to tell them that, but now whatever they want to do, that's on them. They're grown.
Yeah.
I almost wish we had the clap button.
First cuz, go ahead, first cuz.
Yeah, I would say if I was asked this question 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I would probably feel some kind of way. But at this point in life, we're in a very progressive society. And I love what Miss Millie just said, love who loves you. So it doesn't matter the color. If my child brings home someone, like you said, whatever it is, if they're happy, then that's the most important thing. Now, I may have reservations, and if it's something that I'm just not in agreement with, but at the end of the day, I have to respect their decision and allow them to live their life. So at this point in my life, I'd still be happy for my child.
Very good, very good, very good. Let's go, Miss Brooks.
I'd be happy for my son. Actually, his stepmother is white, right? So when they married, I don't want to go off tangent or anything, but when they married, I was worried that when they have their own, black baby or swirl baby or whatever, like they would forget about my son and that he would have to suffer that heartbreak, but he didn't. I can't even say anything bad about her, right? She cares for my son, he cares for her. And when it comes to his experiences, he grew up in Fremont, California, right? So the majority of the folks are Indian, Asian. I feel like the blacks and whites are the minority, right? So his first crush was an Indian girl. And I think I took it as, all right, he's not gonna like a black girl. But the only experience he did have with a black girl, he said that she was loud and rude.
Mm.
And I need to process that, right? I need to process that. Like, what about her did you think was loud? What do you think about her was rude, right? Because if he's following his dad's footsteps, I don't know. I mean, that's something I need to process. So that's a really good question. And he's a freshman in college now, right? So the college that he goes to, it's pretty diverse, but still, I think I just want him to be in love and be loved totally, like what he receives. It's really a hard question, sorry.
Oh, that's. But I mean, what you're saying is pretty profound. I mean, I'm good with your answer. TWT. What about y'all? What do y'all think?
That's William
What,
and
Lavita.
We have a son together, and I don't care. I don't have any issues with it at all. Do you?
I feel the same way. I mean, as long as we have 3 boys together. I mean, well, 3 boys. My oldest, he likes white girls.
Mm-hmm.
He was scared to tell me at one point because he thought that I was going to be or act some type of way. I told him, I said, as long as they treat you right and you're happy, it's fine with me.
Yeah.
You know,
and
I
one
don't
thing I
think we
realized
should.
that we're not
I
our
don't think we
parents, so things have changed a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna add. I don't think we should be selfish to their wants or needs because of our own selfishness.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, Miss Toya.
Hi, yeah, I wanted to just add to that. Someone asked me this question not too long ago. It's funny we talking about this. Someone asked me, like who do my sons date or whatever, because they're college football players and stuff like that. And I told them they've dated everything and everybody. It just, to me, I think it depends on for them where we were stationed and what was the majority, or whoever was nicer made them feel comfortable at whatever level of schooling they were at that time. So my sons have dated white girls, black girls, Filipino, Hawaiian, and um and William, to your point, you said your son had a little apprehension about sharing to you what his preference was. I told my kids when we discussed dating and sex, and because I had a talk with them, and then my husband had a talk with them. I gave him the woman's point of view, and then he gave them and we both left the room, so they could say what they wanted. Because children, boys and girls, have a level of comfort with the mommy that they do with the daddy, and so that's how we did it. And I always let them know what I wasn't able to do. And that was my biggest thing in raising children. You can have a say, but that don't mean you're gonna have your way. But tell me how you feel, because I want to hear that. Your feelings matter. And so they would always ask me stuff. I had to tell my youngest son, he was a little racist and didn't know it. We used to live across the street from a Filipino family, and he would always say, "Oh, the little peach girl with the slanty eyes," and he'd be doing like this, and I'm like, but he was like 5. I'm like, "Boy, stop doing that." And he'd be like, "The little peach girl." I'm like, "She's not peach. She's Filipino." And then he would say, "Well, why she smell like that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Like food." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this damn child of mine." So, a lot of correction early with him. But I just always told them, love who you love. And even my daughter likes black guys. And my grandson is black. So I'm ready for it. I know I'm gonna have a whole melting pot at grandma's house, and I welcome it. I am here for it. To love on everybody, because I have friends of all nationalities, and I've when I'm friends with you, I get to know your mama, your grandmama, if they alive, because I want to know what it's all about for real, for real. Because one day we may have to raise children together. So I want to know what they need to know and how they need to be governed, so to speak, when it comes to that race and nationality thing. So I just wanted to add that.
That's how we should aspire to be, because we are becoming that way. Everybody becoming gray. Everybody becoming gray. Back to Miss Millie. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add that if we don't have that discussion with our kids or have them intimidated or afraid to come to us with it, because my daughter, she did not want to tell me. She texted me first talking about, I have a friend. So we was texting. I'm like, a friend, friend. So friend mean a female versus a male. So I say, we're in the same house. You are not going to text me from the living room and have this discussion. So I told her, come in my room. And then we had a discussion. She looked at me, she said, you mad? I say, I wouldn't use the word mad, but it caught me off guard. But we got to make sure that they feel like they feel welcome to come, or we are inviting them to come talk to us, because we can have cases where some people would tell them if they do this or do that, they don't want to have nothing else to do with them. But this is my philosophy. I will not lose my child over who she loves, or my sons, either one of my kids. I will not lose them because of the choice they make. They're mine, living or dead forever. So I will always respect their wishes.
And that's how it should be, because saying that you turn off somebody or you disown somebody because who they love, is like turning somebody away for them eat what liking pizza. I like pizza. I don't like pizza. You better not be around me. How ridiculous does that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Or the color blue. Just because you like the color blue, I'm a disown you.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you like what you like what you like, and telling people that they shouldn't like what they like. That are certain things that they probably need some counseling for. I'm not going to go into that because I eventually went to be monetized. But there, for the most part, you want to be that, as parents, we know we want to be that listening post, because we transition from being overlords to counselors, and we have to be able to provide good counsels. Go ahead, TWT.
No, I was just going to bring up the point as far as you were saying, disowning. And I think that's one of the biggest difference between, I guess, white people and us, is that white people will disown you. If their child is gay, or if their child is dating another race or whatever it is, they will disown.
And they be claiming to be the most Christian people.
Exactly. But we have more compassion and understanding, although sometimes we might not get it, but we still understand.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But I think that's also a byproduct of our conditioning over the 400 years, because we all have a shared trauma bond that's been handed down to us over generations systemically. I'm about to put on my Dr. Feel Good X hat on, but we all can understand in some way, form, or fashion how we all, no matter what our skin tone, we all understand what it is being Black in America. There's certain things that I don't care if you're the most bougiest of bougie, or you the hoodest of hood. There are things that we do that, as Black people, it's most of the time it's unspoken, but it's always understood that we don't, we have to act a certain way. Going back to code switching, we have to conduct ourselves, because we don't, saying the wrong look can get us shot. and not just from our people, but from others. So we always got to keep that in mind in all our relationships. Ms. Bryan, you still got your hand up? You want to contribute? Oh, she jetted. Miss White, what's your take on that? It's in my breath. Ooh, I'm chasing people off left or right.
I'm just teasing.
Miss Washington.
Miss White popped up.
Oh, she did, Miss White.
Yes.
What happens? One of your children? What happens if one of your children brings home somebody from another race?
I will be accepting.
Okay.
It's a new day, a new generation.
Mr. Troy B, what about yourself?
Okay. I have to say I changed. Okay. Because initially when I was young, I have a 30-year-old son. And one of the things, I told him, you know what your mother looks like. Bringing that into the house, that's no problem. But if that's what you do, understand what you're going to get. Over time, I changed. Okay, I didn't stay stuck on stupid. That's what I call it. I had to understand a person loves who they love. And so for me, at the age that I am now, I have no issues. My son went through that, dated white girls, high school, he did all of that, ended up, his high school sweetheart, he ended up being with her, Black girl, ended up marrying a Black woman. So I don't care, at this point in my life, be they interracial, be it gay or lesbian or other, I don't care. Love who you love. Life's too short to worry about that. Go on and do your thing.
It's 22 and that's the difference. We have to be the change. We have to be the change we want to see. I have an issue with people say I tolerate stuff. Say, tolerance has a negative connotation in that, I don't like it, but I'll just have to deal with it. Instead of accepting it, because if my child, I asked my son, I said, have you murdered anybody? He said, no. I said, then anything you do, I'm happy. As long as you're happy, I'm good. You're a productive citizen. You're doing what you need to do to be a better man every day. Just continue to be accepting. You don't have to accept nonsense. I make no mistake about that. But be accepting, understand and listen to your children, be that counselor, that parent, that confidant, and give them your experiences. And they may not, you might think they're not listening, but they hear you. They hear you. Sometimes they got to hear another voice to confirm what you've already told them. But that's where being a parent and having patience comes in. Because our parents, tell the truth, our parents probably didn't have a lot of patience with us. Because we from the get, you look at them wrong and you get that backhand type parenting.
Yes.
Smack first, ask later. Ain't that right, Mr. Malik?
Yeah, you right. You right. Feel good. I jotted down a few interesting words, like the heart basically loves who it loves, and I also was saying that the heart really don't see color. It goes on what it actually feels. So I'm kind of with everybody. It was a slogan I grew up with years ago. It was we often love, but love don't love us back. So when love does love, like the brother said, loves you, then I mean, it don't see color. It sees feelings. It feels. It don't see nothing. You know what I mean? So, like the man say, who am I to say that? Like I say, I done did multiracial things, you know, but I do like my black queens. That's what I'm, you know, I'm ending up with that, not no, you know, other situations. So, like Anson say, you know, I kind of want to wake up with me. You know what I mean? So, that's the glory of it all. And just to put it, you know, nice and sweet with everybody. You know, I appreciate the show and everything. And that's the key word I got out of this. You know, the heart don't really know. It don't see color. It feels feeling. So that's what it is.
Love is what
Mr.
it
William,
do.
you got your hand up?
Yeah. I don't want to sound like a preacher or anything like that. But you know, a lot of times what it comes with is just you have to learn how to self-love and self-educate. Once you self-love and self-educate, then your mind and open to everything. You know, because again, hate going back, but this is stuff that we're taught in school again. You know, to hate each other, hate our complexion, hate the way our hair looks, or you know, if we're fat, we're skinny. You know, we just have to learn how to.
Mr. Williams, still there? I think we lost you.
Think he frozen up.
Yeah, he's frozen
His
up.
screen froze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he got to pay his bill. But anyway, I'm gonna. This has been an awesome, excellent conversation. It got a lot of people thinking, a lot of people acting. Go ahead, Mr. Anson.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, if my son brought home a non-black woman, I wouldn't be upset with him because I have a typical general view on the whole situation. Is it all boils down to yourself and how you view yourself. So if he winds up being with someone, with a woman that's not black, and she treats him right, and she does things, right by him, and and one thing that nobody really said is how she get along with us. Because she got to be able to intermingle with him and his family. So that's also a factor. So long as there's not anything wrong going on there, nothing uncomfortable for herself and other family members, it's all good. I'm all for it. I'm all for him being happy. Like I said, I wanted to clap for Miss Millie earlier because love is love. I want someone who love me, and
Love is what it.
I respect that. I respect that
That's
so
what's
much
up.
because that's something I live by for myself.
Mhm.
I don't want nobody who don't want me. That's not
true.
gonna happen.
That's true.
So if he brings home a woman that loves him for him and shows that she truly loves him, and he recognizes that, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I only want my son to be happy in life.
Mhm.
And that's how it always should be. But on that note, I appreciate everybody participating, everybody coming on. It's been a great show. Next week, we're going to talk about internet dating. It's going to be a barn burner, both positives and pitfalls of internet dating. And get your stories ready because we want to hear a horror story. We want to hear a great story. We want to hear those. We want to hear those. If you made a love connection, did a love connection make you? Did you meet a Nigerian prince or princess? Were you caught up in that military scam? And that goes in the second part is catfishing.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I met a Tasmanian devil.
Oh.
Next
So-
week, Jay, come on back next week, and we're
Come
gonna
on
get
back
more of
next
that
I
from
swear
you.
I will
for,
definitely be
for
here.
Lord, I'm gonna
That's
be
my
on there before he get on there.
Okay, well, we look
8:30
forward to you
Eastern,
coming back.
8:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, the Tantalizing Talk. And for Upscale Love for You, we want you back. Tell a friend, tell a phone, tell everybody. Because we talking about everything. So
That's
come
right.
on down, join us. You're not a visitor, you're not a guest, your family. Take your shoes off.
Let your
Stay
head
blessed
down.
because we're trying to keep this relatively PG. And join us next week because the man with the golden voice is going to be there. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Fab, who's going to then turn it over to the first cuz. Go ahead, Dr. Fab.
And I was going to say, yes, please invite a friend because listen, every conversation is always needed. If you tell one person and the next person tell the next person, we just grow and we get bigger and bigger and sweeter, and everyone will love what we're talking about. So I'm going to turn it over to my favorite first cousin. And once again, I thank you all for coming.
All right, this is your favorite first cousin, Bobby G, and we want to thank everyone here at Upscale Love for You for coming out tonight and logging on and having great conversation. We have all been able to take away some nuggets, some pointers from tonight. One of the things that kind of stuck out to me was the code switching. Even though I knew what was going on, I never knew that term before. So I definitely learned something tonight. It's good that we had some people come on for the first time, and we're going to ask that you come back. Feel free to come back. We're on every Thursday night, 8:30 till about 10:15 p.m. We're going to be talking about internet dating next week, the horror stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, and we're just going to have continue to have a good time. I also want to point out, please check your chat box. You'll see our email address, upscalelove4u@gmail.com. That's upscaleloveforyou@gmail.com. Please send us an email or send us a text message or a phone call and let us know what you think. If you have a particular topic that you want to discuss on next week or in the upcoming weeks, please leave us a note, send us a message so we can talk about it. Maybe we can help, maybe we can have someone online that will be able to help with whatever the topic may be. So for the newcomers who come on for the first time, we do appreciate you so much. We ask that you come back. We ask that you invite a friend. For those who've been consistently with us, we ask that you continue to come on, and we ask that you invite a friend also. And with that being said, we're going to say stay safe, stay positive, and stay upscale for love. Everyone have a good night.